Finally, I's done it! After years of study, I can finally brew my own clue scrolls.
Whoa, what the hell are you doing? We told you to stop messing with those things. What if somebody finds out about this?
Stop being so paranoid! Who would ever finds out?
Wow, what a weird dream. I feel something calling to me. It must be a clue scroll. That can only mean one thing. It's time to chunk hunt. Hello everybody and welcome back to Chunk Hunt. I'm so glad to see you again. Last time we got absolutely spooned on beginner clue scrolls, and we're starting this video off with a bit of woodcutting, as I've had a bit of downtime and it's always beneficial to get a bit of AFK skilling done. Before we start, I just want to update you guys on a few clarifications to the rules of the series. Firstly, after discussing it with the quickly growing community of people playing Chunk Hunt accounts, I've decided that we should be able to keep all quest rewards. It's really hard for us to actually be able to do any quests, even for exceptions, and not keeping the rewards doesn't actually add any challenge to the series. All it does is make things take longer and it adds a lot of fluff to the gameplay. It's also a lot more consistent and easy to follow the rules this way, as some quests will give you unavoidable rewards like EXP and GP. So just allowing the account to keep quest rewards makes things a lot more consistent, and it makes the account a lot more fun to play. Secondly, I want to clarify how the rules work when it comes to Zenaris, Keldagrim, and other locations that are technically not dungeons, but are also not located on the overworld. So they are going to be treated as dungeons, and so as soon as the chunk that they're located in is unlocked, the entirety of that area is unlocked. So for example, if we unlock the Eastern Lumbridge Swamp chunk, then we have access to Zenaris too, as that's where the entrance to Zenaris is. We would still need to complete the Lost City quest while following our rules before we could actually go there though, so there is still a very good amount of challenge there. I hope that that's cleared a couple of things up, and let's get on with things. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I've got some big goals for today's episode. We already have quite a few nice chunks unlocked. However, the issue with them is that they're not connected at all and we really don't have any kind of landmass. And this has basically locked us to Lumbridge anytime we leave the chunk that we're in, and I want to change that as soon as we can. So we're going to be committing a goblin massacre, and we're not going to stop until we've unlocked these three chunks: Barbarian Village, Varrock, and Alcarid. All three of these chunks unlock incredible upgrades for the account and are going to be invaluable to us. Now, I know it's not going to be as easy as it sounds, and the chances are we're going to be completing a lot of clues before we actually unlock the chunks that I want. And I'm hoping that by the time we complete our goals for the episode, we'll have quite a nice landmass, allowing us to walk back and forth between chunks as we please. So there ain't no use hanging around here chopping willows anymore. Let's get to Lumbridge and start our reign of terror. Okay boys, here we are. Let's commit some war crimes against these goblins. Now, I've got a couple of secondary goals that I am going to be working towards this video as well. Every time we see an imp, we're going to kill it, because I'm really hoping to collect all 4 of the beads for Imp Catcher as soon as we can. That'll be a really nice start to our magic training. I'd also like to go for base 30s in all of our melee skills, and as soon as we run out of these bronze bolts, we're going to be starting on that. But with this kind of game mode, you can never really plan for what's going to happen next, because you never know what chunks you're going to unlock and what content's going to become available to you. Let's just get ourselves some scrolls, let's unlock a few chunks, and see where the wind takes us. So the max hit that is possible with a bronze crossbow and bronze arrows is a 4, which, let's be honest, it's pretty bad. But since upgrading to full studded, I've noticed actually a huge accuracy increase in my range. Like, I'm killing things so much faster now. I really wouldn't have expected it to make that much difference, but just look at this. These goblins, they don't know what's hitting them right now. Alright, we've got the first clue scroll of the episode, and it's an easy, which gives us quite a bit more to work with than the beginners. However, they are more difficult for us to complete, so let's just see how we do. Looks like we're off to Catherby. Okay, we've arrived in Catherby, and as you might remember from episode 2, this chunk is actually already unlocked for us, and I'm going to be taking advantage of this as we need at least level 18 crafting in order to do every single Charlie step. And something I should have done when I was here the first time is to buy out all of the sand and soda ash so that we can make molten glass and train crafting that way. It's going to be a whole lot better than doing balls of wool, and that's for sure. I'll also need a glass blowing pipe, so let's grab one of those now. We're going to do 10 buckets of sand and 10 soda ash, and we're just going to bank all of that and then hot worlds and keep on going. Okay, that should be enough sand and soda ash. We've managed to collect 415 molten glass worth, so when we get back to Lumbridge, we'll spend a little bit of time crafting and see what kind of level we can get. But for now, let's complete this clue step and see where we're heading off next. Right, so we've arrived at the Standing Stones in Falador, ready to complete our clue step. Now, I am really hoping for a 2-step clue here, because if we do unlock this chunk, we've unlocked Dwarven Mine, and I don't even need to say how huge that would be for the account. So let's see if we get a casket. Ah, never lucky, never lucky. Here we are in lovely Rimington. Let's have a quick look inside these here drawers, and we've obtained the casket. So let's quickly open up this chunk right here. Now, it's not one that I had planned on unlocking, and it's not one that I really considered that useful, but actually looking into things, it really is quite good. We can now start training on mining in this here little pit, which is pretty awesome. And also it's unlocked as a house portal, which means we can now do construction, and that is absolutely huge for the account. As you might remember from episode 1, one of the main goals of the account is to build every stash unit, and for that we need construction levels. Having access to a house is also going to give us so many humongous benefits when we can finally upgrade it a substantial amount. We've also now got access to the Witch's Potion quest, which will give us a little bit of magic XP, although I don't think we can get everything we need to complete it within this chunk and Port Sarim, but it is really nice to see a little bit of a landmass coming together right here. Anyway, I know I said we'd be grinding out clues until we unlock Barbarian Village, Varrock and Alcarid, but this chunk has actually thrown a spanner in the works quite a lot, and I'm going to be spending a bit of time here. Now, there's no bank, so we can't withdraw any weapons or armor, so I'm going to pick up this here bronze scimitar, and that's going to be our melee weapon for the time being. And a thought has just crossed my mind. I've been bringing black pickaxes with me to all of these clues just in case we unlock a mining location, but I only have level 1 mining, so I can't even use it. Okay, good. There's a bronze pickaxe on this table right here. Thank God for that. Alright, looks like we've got a bit of a grind ahead of us before we leave this chunk. But before we even do any of that, let's open up this casket and see what we get. Okay, nothing really very good there, to be honest. We unlocked blue firelighters, which is, I guess, a good thing because it's a new unique. That's part of the collection log. And we got a willow shortbow. So overall, not great. As the chunk we've just unlocked is connected to Port Sarim, I'm going to take advantage of this place as well. So first things first, we're going to buy ourselves a set of red berries, and we're going to hot worlds and get a few of these. The reason I'm doing this is that next time we go to drain a village, I'd like to be able to make the red dye, so we've got that ready for whenever we may need it, because it is used in quite a few different quests. It's all about planning for the future, you know. While we're here, we're also going to visit Betty at her magic shop, and we're going to finally grab ourselves a couple of packs of runes. Just airs and minds for me, please, Betty. And there we go, 1,000 of each. It's not loads in the long run, but for our initial magic training, that's going to be absolutely huge. However, we're not going to be training magic while we're in these chunks. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, oh, you filled your inventory up, but there's no bank in Port Sarim or in Rimington. What are you going to do? You haven't got enough space to do a load of construction now. Well, don't you worry, kind viewer. There is a bank deposit box in Port Sarim. So as long as we're careful not to bank the things that we want to keep, we can clear out our inventory nice and easy. And look at that. Much nicer. So now that we're back in Rimington and we're looking into the house portal, I'm realizing something pretty disappointing. In order for us to do any kind of construction training in our house, we're going to need a hammer and a saw. Now, we can get a hammer from the shop over here, that's fine, but we don't have any way of getting a saw. I'm definitely going to be building the tool storage in the house when we have the construction level to do so, but for the moment, there isn't anywhere for us to get one, which means that we unfortunately can't actually train our construction here. That doesn't mean we're going to let this chunk go to waste though. We are going to be training some mining. Oh, this is an important random event for us. Captain Arnav, of course I will help you unlock your chest, don't you worry. Coins, bowl, ring. Have a little something for helping me out? No worries. Oh, okay, he just gave us coins. That's disappointing. So Captain Arnav has a chance of giving us a gold ring, a gold necklace, a gold bar, or some coins. I think he can give us some other stuff as well. But the thing that we're really looking for is a gold necklace or a gold bar. If we can get either of those, then we can craft ourselves some gold jewelry, which is needed for quite a few beginner and easy clues. And there's 11 mining coming in there, which means we can drop our bronze pickaxe and start using our black pickaxe instead. Wow, this is so much faster already. Alright, and there is level 15 mining. We can now mine iron ore, which is everything that I need from this chunk basically. It is a real shame that we're not able to take advantage of the house portal here just yet, but as soon as we're able to grab ourselves some planks and a saw and make it back here, we're going to be doing a lot of construction. So there's a lot of goblins in this chunk right here, and we're going to make use of those guys as we hunt for our next clue scroll. So let's get started. We'll see how many combat levels we get, how much XP we get, and hopefully we get pretty spooned again for a nice easy clue. Okay, next clue, let's go. Charlie the Trampe. Alright, give us a good one, Charlie, come on. Leather chaps crafted by me. Now, we have the materials to get this level. However, we don't have anywhere that we can tan hide right now. So even though we could go back to Lumbridge, do some glass crafting and get that level, it wouldn't make any difference. This one is a drop. Well, we just got a kill and it looks like that's going to be the last of the bronze bolts. There's like 2 on the floor here, but I'm not going to bother picking them up now. We're just going to move on to melee for the time being. So all of those bronze bolts and our bronze crossbow brought us from level 1 to level 23 range. And I think that's pretty good overall. Now that we're done with range for a little while, I think it's time that we finally got on with magic. We don't really have a lot of magic gear. All we have is the wizard hat and a standard staff. So we're going to be auto-casting Wind Strike and let's get started. And we just hit level 3 magic, and there is another easy clue scroll. Looks like we've got another chance at unlocking the Dwarven Mine here if we can get a casket in this chunk. What have you got for me, Lucy? Yes, we've got a casket. This is actually huge. This is incredible. So, a couple of things here. We've unlocked the Garden Supplier, which will allow us to buy woad leaves, which is blue dye, very important for the Goblin Diplomacy quest. We've also unlocked the Falador Rooftop course, which if we can find a way to get some agility XP and somehow make it to level 50, then we can use this. And most importantly, we have unlocked the Dwarven Mine along with the Mining Guild. Now this also gives us access to everything inside the Dwarven Mine as well, as the entrance is located in this chunk, so that includes the Motherlode Mine. Honestly, it's huge, it really is big. So now that we've unlocked Falador in its entirety, pretty much, I guess we should just take a look and see what's inside this casket. Helmet upgrade, can't complain there, black full helm, that's decent. Our 3rd black pickaxe and a duplicate studded body as well. Yeah, that helmet is quite a lot better than what we're wearing right now, so it's been nice, Tyrus Helm, and you will be missed. But it's time to make way for a new contender. Another nice thing that we have right here is another bank, so that's nice and convenient. But for now, we're going to be heading back to Lumbridge and we're going to get back on our Goblin Genocide. Okay, so I was going to go straight back to Lumbridge, but actually I've realised that I'm in the perfect location to process all of my sand and soda ash, and we never know when we're going to unlock the ability to craft leather. So I'd rather train crafting while we've got the chance now so that we can complete more clue steps later. So this is the last of the sand and soda ash that we've got to create molten glass now. And that's leaving us with level 26 crafting, so it's time to go and process all of that glass into special little objects that will give us lots of crafting XP. So we can make oil lanterns, I guess that's what we're going to be doing. And there is level 31 crafting, coming in strong. That is the last level that we really need for now, because we are able to complete the Lost City if and when that comes around. But we're going to keep going until we finish using up all of this molten glass, because, you know, we might as well just see what kind of level we can end up with. It's always going to be beneficial to train our skills, so we're never going to say no to some XP. Anyway, this looks like it's going to be the last of our glass, and we're just about gonna get a level there. There it is, 34 crafting, and that's where we're gonna be leaving the crafting level for now, but we've got pretty far. We can cut rubies and craft ruby rings, which is pretty awesome. So for now, that's all we need to do in Falador. Alright, we're back in Lumbridge. You already know what we're doing here. Let's get to it. And we've got a clue scroll on the ground. Let's just pick up that brass necklace and grab ourselves a little beginner clue scroll, shall we, boys? Looks like we're in the cow pen north of Lummy, and no casket. And it looks like we're off to Charlie next. Before we leave this chunk though, we're going to fill our inventory up with cowhide so that we've got a little stock of it ready for when we unlock the Tanner. And that'll do, that should be plenty for now. Well, as expected, Charlie has not been nice and we're dropping the clue. I don't want to fight you goblins anymore. Give me some scrolls so I can move on to something else, please. Nice one, goblin, I appreciate that. Okay, standing stones just north of Falador. Let's see if we're going to unlock this new chunk. We are going to unlock a new chunk. Fantastic news. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got in this area then, shall we? We've got the Dwarven Mine, which is cool. You know, it's a cool place. There's lots of awesome stuff in there. It's not as impressive now that I already have that unlocked over here, but we're starting to see a bit of a landmass. You know, if we can unlock this chunk right here, that's gonna be huge. It's gonna bring all of this area together. It's gonna bring all of these areas together, and we can essentially just ignore Lumbridge. Let's open up this casket. Wow. So I'd really like to start clue hunting in a new area and fighting some new monsters, as Lumbridge goblins are getting a little bit stale. But the issue I'm facing is that we don't have any good way of getting food that will allow us to fight higher level monsters. Like, yeah, we could go and collect a load of cabbage, but one hit point heals are not going to do the job for us anymore. So my goal for the episode has now changed slightly. I'm still smashing clues out as fast as I can, but we're now looking to get somewhere we can buy a small fishing net so that we can start training fishing. Once we hit level 20, we can do trout, and that's available to us in Lummy, so that would be our problem solved. I know I should have bought one when I was in Port Sarim last, but I'm an idiot, and you know, you live you learn. Anyway, once we've got that small net, we just need to get a clue step in our drainer landmass so that we can start catching shrimp next to the willows there. So let's pray for RNG to give us what we want, eh? Oh, and we just missed it because I clicked away, but there's level 30 attack. We can finally stop using this smelly old mithril battle axe and get onto our beautiful, shiny new adamant mace. But we're not going to do that just yet. First things first, we're going to do a little bit of magic training. I decided we'd wear a bit of Fashionscape this time in lieu of any actual magic gear, and we're looking pretty fearsome. A lovely little goblin dropped us a beginner, so let's see if we can get this chunk outside of Drainer Manor unlocked. Unfortunately not. And goddammit, the next step in the clue is a drop. Let's go and take our revenge out on those goblins for giving us such a bad clue. Alright, we are on step 3 of another easy clue, and it's leading us to the Blue Moon Inn in Varrock. Now, you all know this is one of my dream chunks, so let's hope, let's pray for a casket. Here we go, boys. We're going to go in here and we're going to talk to the old bartender, and he's clearly got something to say to us. Nicely solved. And we've got a casket, boys. This is so huge. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this place then, shall we, eh? Boom. It's a shame that it's like locked off on all sides right now. So the chances are we're going to have to leave to get another clue scroll at some point. But there's a lot we can do while we're here. Before we do any of that though, are we going to... Oh, an imp. Let's get the imp. Is he going to give us a bead? He gave us a red bead. This is why we're killing every imp that we see, just in case. I know it distracted us from the actual task at hand, but that was important. Right, let's go, boys. Let's go. Black plate legs. Now, it's not unique, but actually, I'm happy with that because if you look at my legs right here. Who's trolling me? Who's trolling me here? Can you imagine? I actually thought I got the pet there. Oh my god. Yeah, I know you can't get it from Easies. I just got overexcited. Anyway, if we look at the legs here, this is actually my first leg slot upgrade for melee, so that's pretty good. And we've actually got full black armor now as well, which is pretty cool. So there's one thing I know for sure that I want to do first while we're in Varrock, and that is to head over to Thessalia and get a little bit of gear. We're going to take a red cape for clues, and we're also going to get some priest robes as they're our best in slot magic gear for the time being, and we might as well just grab one of everything while we're here, just in case we need them later on. Anyway, now that we've got access to Varrock and the Varrock Museum, we're going to talk to Orlando Smith and help him out with his museum quiz. Okay, we've corrected all of the incorrect answers in the museum, so let's go back and talk to him for a little bit of cheeky XP. Thank you very much, Orlando, and there we have level 9 in Hunter and Slayer. And before we leave, let's just grab the collection log from the collector. So this chunk unlock is probably one of the most important in the free-to-play areas that we can possibly get. There's so much content here that is just going to be incredible for us. Now, I want to take a walk around this chunk, really get to explore the city, make sure that we're not missing anything at all, and then move on with a little bit more chunk hunting. Now, here is where we're going to be spending the majority of our cash stack, the sword shop in Varrock. As you can see, they sell short swords, long swords, and daggers of all metal types, all the way up to adamant. So I'm going to be buying us an adamant sword, and that's going to cost us a grand total of 2080 GP. So that's actually not as much as I thought it was going to be. That's actually pretty good. So let's grab that right now. And as we got level 30 attack earlier on in the video, we can already wield it. Look at that. I am an absolute menace. And here is our new melee setup. I'd say we're looking pretty good. The cape really just ties everything together. Right, so the last thing that I want to do in Varrock before we head out to find some more clue scrolls is to pay a little visit to Aubrey in the rune shop. In order to get back to Varrock anytime I want, I'd really like to bring our magic level up to 25 so that we can cast the Varrock teleport spell. I only have 12 lore runes currently, but as long as we use them sparingly and make sure we only return to Varrock when it's necessary, I think I'll be pretty comfortable leaving here. So, Runelight says 482 Fire Strike casts are required. We have a Fire Staff, so we don't need any Fire runes, and that should be enough based on the amount of runes we've got in the bank. Okay, it looks like we're ready to leave and train a little bit of magic. We actually have a decent magic setup now, as we bought the Priest Gown top and bottom from Thalassia, and that gives us some magic bonuses, which is certainly better than having none at all. So we're going to head back to Lumbridge, and next time we return here, we will have level 25 magic. Level 15 magic coming in back in Lumbridge again. Another beginner. Let's see where it takes us. Right, so let's dig just north of the Varrock East mine and see if we get ourselves a casket. And we do get a casket. That is fantastic. That is one more chunk unlocked. And this one is not one of the more important chunks by any means. And it's also a little bit annoying that it is, like most of my chunks, locked off on all sides. But we are making steps towards a nice giant landmass. So there isn't a way for me to get back to this one without getting another clue step here or unlocking a landmass. So what we're going to do while we're here is mine a bit of iron. I have 15 mining from Rimington, so we're just going to fill the inventory with iron ore, and then we're going to take it back to Lumbridge and we're going to smelt as much of it as possible. And the reason we're going to do that is we need 20 iron bars for a little plan I've got that I'm going to put into practice later on down the line. And there's level 17 mining coming in at the exact same time as we fill our inventory with iron ore. So there isn't anything else for us to really do in this chunk except for to pick red berries, but we already have red berries because we bought them from Port Sarim. Yeah, there's cadaver berries as well, but we don't have any need of them until Romeo and Juliet, and we won't be doing that for some time. So I'm not going to waste an iron ore space for a cadaver berry space. I think the iron ore is more important. So let's head back to Lumbridge, get smelting, and then get hunting. Alright, first time smithing iron bars on the account. They say that this is where Jagex decides if your account's going to be lucky or not. So the amount of iron bars that we can smith out of 20 is how lucky we are out of 20. That's the way it works. Tweet Modash about it if you think I'm lying. Let's go. Right, so we managed to get exactly 10 out of 20 iron bars, so I guess we are completely average. We're going to go and bank these, and on the way we're going to open up this beginner. Let's see what we get. Nice. And there's an easy on the ground. Let's see where we go. And we've got a duplicate casket in Lumbridge Castle. Never mind, guys, never mind. I wonder what's inside though. Oh shit! Yes! An Amulet of Magic Tea is amazing, actually. That's a really cool upgrade for us. It's actually our first ever magical upgrade, and we got a black plate body H1, which is basically the same as a black plate body, but it just looks kind of cool. So let's see. Oh yeah, looking good. I guess that wasn't a waste of a clue after all. God damn, we're looking good. What's that on our screen right now? What could it be? It's level 25 magic. Arguably one of the most important magic levels we will get on our account. Even though it's a really low level, it didn't take us too long to get. It's so important. Because we can now cast Teleport to Varrock, meaning that we have now got easy access to this chunk over here, and provided we don't unlock it as a landmass pretty soon, that's going to be really, really valuable to us. So now that we've hit that level, we're actually going to stop training magic, and we're going to go and grab some melee gear, because I'd really like to hit base level 30s in our melee stats. Not going to lie, this new plate body really ties the whole look together. It feels so good to finally be using an adamant weapon as well. And looks like the Addy sword is good luck because we've got an easy clue scroll right away. I guess it wasn't as lucky as I thought because, yeah, we can't do this one at all. Dare I say it, boys? Spooned. Okay, step 3 of this beginner has led us atop Ice Mountain. And if you remember from last episode, we are actually able to gain the casket in either one of these 2 chunks. So, as we've already unlocked the western side, we're just going to dig over here and unlock this chunk. So let's go. There's the casket, love it. So let's get this chunk unlocked. And as we unlocked the Dwarven Mine chunk, we can actually make use of the Ice Mountain a little bit more, as we can now walk around it to get to the below Ice Mountain dungeon. Oh, and here's something I completely overlooked. Oziak is in this chunk. I thought he'd be over there in Edgeville, but apparently he's in this chunk. That's going to be pretty darn important when we finish Dragon Slayer. It looks like we can't access him from here though. Seems like this is a ditch we can't walk over, so that kind of sucks, but I'm sure we'll be getting Edgeville unlocked before we do Dragon Slayer anyway, so not a big deal. I guess we should just open up the casket before we hunt for more. Wow. Oh my god, look at that. The first double clue scroll drop of the account. A beginner and an easy, both at the same time. I feel spoiled, I don't know what to do first. I guess we'll start with the beginner. Oh, Charlie the Tramp. Maybe it's not so good after all. And it's a drop, unfortunately. Let's hope for a bit more luck on the easy. Right, so we've solved the first step, no problem. And the second step in the clue is an emote, and I think that we can do this one. All right, so we have a golden ring. We got that from a bird's nest a little while ago. That's fine. We also have bronze bars, which we can make into an iron dagger, all inside our already unlocked chunks, which we can teleport to, no problem at all, that's fine. The thing that we don't have right now is an iron full helm. However, I happen to know that this Black Knight right here can drop us an iron full helm at a rate of 1 out of 64. Now, as he resides in an already unlocked chunk, and we haven't had to travel through any unlocked chunks or break our own rules to get to him, we can absolutely try and grind that out from him right now before we move on to this clue step. So I'm going to get a little bit of food and see how we do there. Okay, well, there's the last of our food gone, and we did not get the iron full helm. So it looks like, unfortunately, we're going to have to drop this clue as well. Once again, I've been prevented from grinding on a high-level monster by my lack of food supplies. I really need to get on this and unlock fishing. So let's take this chunk hunt into overdrive. There's a beginner, and there is a casket obtained in a brand new chunk for us. We've unlocked the Draenor rooftop course, and we'll be able to start Vampire Slayer when we unlock the manor. No crazy loot from the casket, let's keep going. There's another beginner casket in Falador, and it's another duplicate. As a little bit of an experiment, I'm going to mark this tile right here, and we're going to label it with a little number 1 starting from now. And every time we get a duplicate casket, we're going to increase that number. I'm going to start doing that all around the game just so we can see how many duplicates we get. There's another casket in a duplicate chunk, so we will mark that one down as well. Real nice. Another scroll leads us back into the mace shop, and there's a second duplicate. Dupe in the Lumbridge kitchen, absolutely love it. And there's level 30 defense coming in. Base 30s, that feels good, it feels really good. Looks like we're back in the eastern Ice Mountain area. And what's that? It's a casket for a duplicate chunk. Let's talk to Veronica, and there is a casket which has unlocked us Draenor Manor. Now that's pretty sick because we can start a Vampire Slayer now. I think we can take the count even without decent food, so we'll go and start the quest, and next time we're back in the area, we can finish it off. And look at that, we even got a little bit of food to help us out with the fight. Before we go anywhere though, you know we're doing Ernest the Chicken. And that's everything we need, and Ernest is no longer a chicken, you're welcome. And there's Ernest the Chicken complete, 4 quest points, 300 GP, and the first quest on the account that has been done naturally through unlocking chunks and just having the requirements and the areas necessary to just complete the quest. Feels good, man, it feels good. Okay, let's quickly go and talk to Morgan. Yeah, don't worry about it, mate. I'll help sort out your vampire problem. Don't you worry. We are going to have to teleport to Varrock for this one, so that means we can't complete the quest until we get another clue step bringing us back to the Draenor area. But at least we've got it started and we're on the right track. Alright, we're back hunting caskets and it looks like we've got another duplicate chunk unlock. My god, we've ran from Lumbridge to Zeah, back to Lumbridge, and now back to Zeah again for this easy clue. We better get this casket. Oh my god, we got the casket. This chunk is so out of the way that it's almost useless if it wasn't for one very important thing. We can buy fishing supplies here. I'm so happy, our food struggles are finally over. Let's see what he's got inside his shop. It's a small fishing net. Boom. What else has he got? He's got a fishing rod. I'm going to take one of those. Oh, and a pack of bait. I'll have one of those. You know what? I'll have 2 of those. I can't understate how important this is. We can finally train fishing and get some decent food, which is going to allow us to train on higher level monsters and begin our grind for mediums. Right, so now all we need is a clue step taking us into Draenor Village or any of the connected chunks, and we are absolutely sorted. Alright, let's talk to Shanti, and he's going to give us another casket in a duplicate chunk. Unfortunately, no step in Draenor, but I'm still in a great mood, and I'm super excited for the future of this account. I've been saving up the duplicate caskets for a little while now, and as I'm in such a good mood, let's open them up. I did this opening on stream, so if you fancy hanging out with me live, then drop me a follow over on Twitch, the link is in the description. Anyway, let's get opening. We're going to start off with the beginners. We got 6 of them. Let's see if anything exciting happens. Okay, so not a single unique there. Great, but fine, whatever, I'm not mad. Let's open up the easies now. Magic amulet, cool, but I've already got 2 trimmed ones, so not needed. Last one. We got 2 purple sweets. Hey, some salmon, bit of food, can't complain there, I guess. Right, so that was the most disappointing opening of clue caskets ever. Sorry about that, bit of a disappointment of a casket opening session, but hopefully we can make up for it with a lovely casket in this chunk, and look at that, we got one. Unfortunately though, this chunk is a little bit useless until much later on down the line, as we don't have the Hesidius favor to actually use anything in the chunk. We're back at the goblins. Come on fellas, send me to Draenor. Very nice. And it's a drop. Alright, we got another beginner clue, and for the first time ever on the account, we've got a Charlie the Tramp step that we can actually complete. So let's go smith him an iron dagger. Luckily I had some iron bars in the bank, and we've got an anvil available in the Draenor sewers. Now, as I've got a clue scroll in the inventory and we're only traveling so that we can complete the clue step, we are allowed to travel through locked chunks so that we can get the step completed. But as we wouldn't have been able to get to this chunk without having a clue step to complete, we can't just stay here. We do have to go back to Charlie and complete the clue step. Alright, we give Charlie the dagger and we get a new clue. Cheers Charlie for cooperating for once, much appreciated. Another beginner leading us to the Falador hairdressers, and I'm pretty sure that we can get him to path over into this chunk which he is in right now, and if we talk to him here and get the casket, then that's another chunk unlocked. Let's see. There's another chunk unlocked, boys. Only just in this chunk, but we got the casket within it, so it is officially unlocked. And actually, that's really big for us, because if we can get ourselves level 5 agility, we have basically permanently unlocked the Tavily dungeon, and we can't do a lot in there right now at our current level, but later on down the line, that is going to be absolutely insane for us. Anything good in the casket? Lore runes? Fair enough. I know the video's getting long now, but I refuse to give up until we're back at Draenor and we can stay there. Here's another dupe casket at Shanti. Anything nice? Cool. Finally, a clue step has led us to Draenor Village. I'm so happy that we're here. I really am, because it means that we can finally start training fishing. I'm going to talk to Morgan and just see if we can finish this casket right here. And we can. Oh, this is amazing. This is perfect. So this casket has plopped us right into our giant landmass. This is absolutely perfect because we can finally train our fishing, and training our fishing means that we can also train our fire making, our cooking. We're really going to be beefing up our account, and that's going to allow us to actually grind on higher level monsters, which means that we can finally start grinding out some medium clue scrolls, and they are going to change quite literally everything for the account. Let's quickly open up this final clue casket, and nothing particularly special, but that's nice either way. So that's where we're going to end the episode for today. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been watching. You really are all absolute legends. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave it a like. It does help a lot with the algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe also, and I will see you next time. Have a great day, guys.